Welcome to our new video World War I. Welcome to our video on World War I, a global conflict that lasted from 1914 to 1918 and shaped the course of the 20th century. The war involved the majority of the world's great powers, including all of the great powers of Europe and many of the world's colonies. In this video, we will explore the causes, events, and consequences of the war, and how it changed the world forever. Part 1: Causes. The roots of World War I can be traced back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries, when a number of factors converged to create a powder keg of tensions and rivalries between the great powers of Europe. One of the main causes of the war was imperialism. European powers were competing to build empires, and their interests were often in conflict with one another. Another factor was nationalism, a growing sense of national pride and loyalty that was spreading throughout Europe. Nationalist movements were particularly strong in countries like Germany, Italy, and Serbia, and they fueled tensions between different ethnic groups. Finally, the arms race between the great powers was also a major cause of the war. Each country was building up its military, and the fear of being left behind led to an increase in military spending and a buildup of weapons. Part 2: Events. The spark that ignited the war was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914. This event set off a chain reaction of events that led to the outbreak of war on August 4, 1914. The war was fought on two main fronts: the Western Front, which was a series of trenches that ran from the English Channel to the Swiss border, and the Eastern Front, where German and Austro-Hungarian forces faced off against Russian forces. The war was characterized by a series of brutal battles and stalemates, as well as technological advances like tanks and chemical weapons. The use of these weapons caused widespread suffering and death, and had long-lasting effects on the health of those who survived. In 1917, the United States entered the war on the side of the Allies, and this new military force helped turn the tide of the war. By the end of 1918, the Central Powers were in retreat, and the armistice was signed on November 11, 1918, officially ending the war. Part 3: Consequences. The consequences of World War I were far-reaching and long-lasting. The war caused the deaths of an estimated 16 million people, including soldiers and civilians, and millions more were left wounded or disabled. The war also led to the collapse of several empires, including the Russian Empire and the German, Austro-Hungarian, and Ottoman empires. This created new states and new borders, and set the stage for further conflict in the 20th century. Finally, the war had a profound effect on the political and economic systems of Europe and the world. The war led to the rise of fascism in Italy and Germany, and it was a key factor in the start of World War II. Conclusion: World War I was a devastating conflict that shaped the course of the 20th century and beyond. Its causes, events, and consequences continue to be studied and debated, and its legacy continues to influence the world we live in today. Thank you for watching, and we hope you have a better understanding of World War I and its impact on the world.